Your favorite crypto influencers are feeding you dangerous narratives about altcoin season. The next 60 days could change the altcoin landscape forever, and I'm seeing signals that nobody's talking about. In this video, we're going to talk about Bitcoin, a few of the other altcoins. We're going to look up the total crypto market as well and Bitcoin dominance so that you get a better idea of what we could expect in the upcoming few months. And this is key because these are the last stages of the cycle now. By the way, if you've been enjoying the analysis, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. That way I know that it's useful for you guys to share more altcoin videos as well, because primarily I do focus on meme coin content. So let's have a look at Bitcoin. I always like to zoom out, not even on a daily chart, but a 2 daily chart, just because it gives me an idea of what happened in the previous cycle as well, which we can see here on Bitcoin. Now with Bitcoin, what I see happening on a lower time frame is this. I think we're getting very, very close to a top. Now there's an argument it could have happened already, but when I have a look at the structure here, I don't think this move here was the final move. I think we could be tracing out a wave 4 here. And this is not dissimilar to what happened for a few months last year when we were kind of going sideways and down. So kind of like a flag pattern. So I think this could happen over the coming few weeks for Bitcoin. And if that happens, generally altcoins will follow. Now, it's possible during these sideways phases you get some altcoins run, and we'll discuss that a little bit later in the video. And that's when Bitcoin dominance falls. Now, the thing that's bugging me the most is the Bitcoin dominance. But you have to remember, not everything just follows everything a cycle. That's what people are expecting. So they keep talking about this altcoin season, this fabled season, that I just don't think is going to happen, or nowhere near in the way that people are expecting. As I mentioned in my last altcoin video, there are coins like Solana run from $8-9 all the way up to nearly 300. That is altcoin season. So it's happened for a lot of coins already. Now with this Bitcoin dominance, usually what we expect towards the latter stages when altcoins really run is this starts to drop. And it hasn't. It's just literally been going up since Bitcoin bottom, which is strange with hardly any kind of pauses. But it just goes to show the changing landscape is what we're going through. I still think at some point this will drop off, but I think it's going to finish probably higher. Now, a mixture, this is not TA. This part of the video is not TA. This is my opinion. I think we're going to get a little bit of a run, but I think it's going to be way muted. I think it's going to be a pathetic rally, not what people are expecting. And I think that's going to be it for cryptocurrency for this particular cycle. Now, when this happens, I don't know, but it looks like we're going to be sideways for a while now. So I expect some point, probably March or April, might be the area where we do that one final rally. Now, is it possible we can go sideways all year and it happens towards the end of the year? Yeah, look, anything's possible. It's very hard during sideways periods to predict, like we saw last year, how long these complex corrections are going to play out. There's nothing in TA that tells you when we're going to break out. There are things in TA that prepare you if we are seeing the beginning signs of a breakout, simple higher lows, divergences, trendline breakouts. There are many bits in TA that can prepare you early on in a move, but nothing will tell you when. So these sideways areas of markets can be time consuming. And I think we're in that again. I mentioned Solana earlier in this video. Zoom out to a 2-day and you'll realize that Solana's already done an incredible run off the lows. And I think there's a good chance it could have topped. Now, what will change my personal opinion about this? It's the only way is if the very, very small probability. So again, when I say small probability, I mean, I don't think it's going to happen, but I can't, 100% rule it out. I can't rule anything out. In Trump's leadership in this term, we get a pullback. Everybody's prepping for a bear market, let's say later on this year. And suddenly things twist because crypto, the world's a much better place. Crypto is a much better place. Maybe because of AI, who knows? So much liquidity pumps into the system because it has to. It's been forced to for whatever reason. Like I don't know. Like I said, I'm just talking out loud as to what potentially could happen and what potentially could be the reason. And if that turnaround happens, then this then goes into some massive 1-2 formation where Solana settles around $100, and then within this same cycle just goes absolutely crazy. I know everybody watching would love that, but like I said, I think this is very, very unlikely. I just can't fully rule it out. I think what's more likely is Solana has tagged the highs here and it's topped. And if you have a look at total 3, this is the total crypto market cap, excluding Bitcoin and ETH. So all of the other altcoins, meme coins, shit coins, whatever you want to call them, everything else. And here you can see very, very clearly from the lows, we traced what I think is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's a 5-wave move, which is a full impulse complete there. And importantly, we tagged the highs. It's really important in TA when you tag highs that you understand that something significant happened there. This could literally be a top towards the end of December, and now we're getting a major pullback. Now, like I said, along the way, are you still going to get altcoins run this year? Yeah, because a lot of, let's say it is a top, for argument's sake. We don't know, but let's say it is in terms of the total market cap. What happens is this comes down and then you get pullbacks. Even in a downtrend, you get pullbacks upwards. And there's those upward rises where you can get some select altcoins running. But again, more on that when we look at different altcoins. But just note this too. Note the fact that we've tagged the highs here. And we can't ignore that. I got heat on my last video, when I was talking about these bearish scenarios, and then, 2-3 days later, everybody's like, oh, your video's aging really well now. And it's just like, look, I'm not here to tell you what I think you want to hear, because every other influencer will do that for you. They'll tell you loads and loads of bullish scenarios and make you feel happy and make you sleep well. I'm not here to do that. I'm here to discuss what I think is the reality. And the thing is, this, even though you don't like it right now, it will help you. And also understand that when you look at something like, let's say AVAX, for example. So again, we're going on to a two-day chart now. And let's have a look at what happened in the previous cycle. Understand that you are not compelled when we see a top and we see a sell-off and then we get a kind of a lower high. You're not compelled to hold this the whole 80% of the way down. People do. You don't have to do that. Nobody's forcing you to diamond hand through this. For God's sake, like, if you've made profits or you need to take a small loss, take the small loss. Don't hold through massive bear markets. There's no need to. Look, previous cycles have shown you what happens. My, hundreds of meme coin videos shows you every single coin does that. You might not get out at the highs or even lower, but you still have plenty of time. You don't have to hold all of the way down, hoping and praying that you get back to the amount. So if you put in 10K, don't wait for, the value to get back to 10K. Just take the loss. Like, sell out at 8K, 7K is better than selling out when it gets to 1K. I'm just talking in general terms. It could be for any crypto asset, stock asset, it doesn't matter. Just don't always think that you have to hold. Sometimes taking a small loss is the better thing to do. But whilst we're on AVAX, this takes me to my other point. Again, before we discuss select altcoins, look at the chart. It's dreadful. Like, we barely peaked here and much lower high. This was all corrected, like I've been saying for a long time on my videos. It's a 3-wave move up. So it was never an impulsive move, which means, and even if it was impulsive, it would have had to hold here. So these lows should have been up here somewhere, and then we could do something and maybe try and, attack highs. This is a completely dead chart for an altcoin. Most altcoins are like this, 99%. And this is why I think at the end, this is what's going to happen. And I alluded it to this in my previous video, but I never actually discussed it in detail because I said I would mention it on another video, and here I am. I'm going to go through it now. I think with Bitcoin, we're going into an interesting period where on a longer term chart, 1, 2, 3, 4, there's an argument. Now there's overlap here, there's issues, I don't want to get into all of the technical details, but overall, I think we could be ending something longer term. A longer 10-year cycle could be coming to an end. So this time the bear market is not going to be just like, oh, we'll bottom in 12 to 18 months or slightly longer. I think it could be years. And it's not the fall of Bitcoin. It's the fall of the millions of other coins that have been launched these last few years. There's too many coins. There's not enough dollars to pump all of the coins. It's just simple dilution at work, if you want to call it that. And that's what's happened here. And you can, don't take my word for it. Just look through any long-term chart. This is Cardano, for example. I mean, you don't see the start parts of the chart here, but, it went from literally nothing. Brilliant run in the last cycle. Incredible. Massive sell-off. Clear 3-wave move. Bear market. So a lot of these, so again, what is my point? People are talking about, when is the bear market coming, stuff like that. Guys, bear market is already here for the vast majority of these coins. Cardano's been in a bear market since August 2021, and it was just confirmed this time. Anything that pulls back that much is always going to struggle. But I mean, some coins have made it this time, but it's the newer coins that made it. Things like Injective and stuff like that. They made it. And let's talk about that, because I touched on this last time as well. So in this cycle, the newer coins in this cycle, so this coin was in previous cycle lows, but look, it broke all-time high. So its all-time high is March 2024. Now, again, this is my opinion. I think that was the beginning of the bear market for Injective. And that's going to be the bear market for Injective now. Because like I said, there's too many coins, not enough attention to go around with all of these, not enough liquidity. Unless, like I said earlier in this video, something unbelievable happens during Trump's time here, and we just suddenly have to pump trillions into all the markets for whatever reason, and then suddenly, because remember, one of the best assets that catches this liquidity is crypto. Crypto catches all of that free money flowing around in the system, and people just ape into random coins. That's what happens. But the problem this time, and I don't want to get into it this video, we'll discuss it in another video, but one of the biggest problems was meme coins, ironically, for this cycle, and pump fund. And the mass extraction that went on there in terms of Solana then being turned into dollars hasn't helped these latter stages of the bigger kind of crypto cycle, shall we say. So you're now left with a very, very, very small list of options, because even XRP tagged all-time highs there. I find that very significant. And if it struggles from here, I think it's done. And it ironically will want to be one of the last ones to top. And ironically here in late 2017, early 2018, it was literally one of the last ones to run too. It could be one of the last ones here too. And that would be the irony of the entire market. And this is not any kind of, I don't think XRP is going to be any kind of life-changing coin that's going to change the world or anything like that. I think it's extremely unlikely. And the other thing you note on this chart is we ran into the price territory that we saw in May 2021, which actually is significant from a structure point of view, where this low here can't go into the price territory of this high here, this wave one. That's important. This is all TA. And you can argue all you want about TA when it's useful and stuff. It's up to you to decide. But for me, it's been the most important thing for navigating through, especially crypto markets. And that's why first thing in description is my detailed crypto mastery course. And I go into a lot of TA on that because, like I said, I think it's absolutely crucial. It's really, really helped me. It's not only in terms of making money, but especially avoiding losing money. So you know when trends are about to change. Like these little TA tips that I've mentioned. And if you look at Solana, if we just did some TA on here. So we're zoomed out now. Let's go into a daily chart. And I'm going to add some momentum oscillators here to look for divergences at these highs. And what I can see here when I throw these on is very clearly, you can see here, this is very basic TA actually, but it's good for learning. Higher low there, just under $300, a low one there. So we went higher there, but what did we do on all of the oscillators? We had lower peaks here. MACD 4C as well, lower peaks. That's a divergence. That's a telltale sign that there's going to be a pullback. Also a telltale sign that this move up, for example, this one from August, could be done and needs correcting too. That's what TA tells us. Now remember, it's just probabilities. It just means it's more likely. Never anything 100%. Like I said, I don't know what they're going to announce on news tomorrow and stuff like that, but a quick word on that too. And again, some of you may find this interesting, some of you won't, but if you really understand it, this will help you going forward. So we know that there were some important news events. For example, recently, and let's label these on the chart. It was David Sachs, I believe, talking on behalf of Trump with regards to what they were going to do, various different policies and stuff like that. Everybody thought this was going to be bullish and they were just waiting for the talk and stuff like that. And then what happened? The market went down. Trump coming into power. Everybody thought that was going to be bullish and blah, blah, blah. And then Trump came into power. What happened? Market went down. Uncertainty about what was going to happen with regards to the election and what the outcome was going to be. That was here. We didn't know who was going to win. Trump won. What happened? Yes, Solana rallied a bit. But some of these older coins, like XRP, they did 6x's and more. They went crazy. What is my point? It's a really important learning point. And if you get this, this will help you for rest of this cycle for sure, but even future in crypto. The times when we weren't expecting news, so there wasn't news due that everybody on social media decided beforehand was positive or negative. That's when we tended to get the rallies, ironically. However, times when we knew something was going to happen before the fact, like on this date, an ETF is going to be released or confirmed, or on this date, this person's coming into power. On this date, somebody's going to speak about something and it's supposed to be very bullish for crypto. That's usually when the dumps happen. So when it's not least expected, that's when we get the rallies. When it's most expected, we get dumps. And funnily enough, this kind of thing, I've been trading now, because when you take short positions, you could potentially do that. And in the bear market, obviously things go down more than they go up. Now, like I said, I think it's a bear market already for a lot of altcoins. It's what's the definition of a bear market? It depends what you want to call it. But when you're 20% down from all-time highs in the stock market, that's a bear market. So how are many of these crypto coins not already in bear markets? Just obvious. But like I said, I think some select coins will run. The Bitcoin will run again. But I think it's just completely different. There's not going to be some magical altcoin season. There just can't be. The altcoins are dead. No attention. Nobody cares. Nothing's going to pump them anymore, unfortunately. And the only thing that's been doing well this last 12 months has been meme coins. And remember, meme coins are large altcoins. It depends, we're just talking about descriptions here. The same thing is a crypto coin. Some meme coins have utility. Some altcoins, ironically, have no utility. And they're still called altcoins. But they're basically just fancy meme coins. So my guess when I'm looking through the coins is, first of all, like I said, I think we're going to be sideways for a while. So buckle up for that. Like it's going to be a lot of doing nothing. And personally, I think on Solana, the way I'm trading this is I think on a very short term, this looks to me corrective, and this move down looks corrective. So very likely, it might be starting now, or it might go a little bit lower. We're going to get a B wave or X wave. So basically, we're going to do this pattern like that. That's all we're going to do. It's just going to be a larger flag. So we're going to turn. Very likely, then I'll take some longs because I'm a short-term trader. Like I don't hold positions long anyway. So I'll look to trade that because it could be worth trading. Look to see if you get a 1-to-1 combination here, and then that completes a large flag pattern. And then we ultra dump. I think that's what's going to happen with Solana personally. Now, for altcoins that might run, if Bitcoin runs again or dominance falls a bit, it's going to be a select batch. And that batch, whatever that batch might be, just pick up on it early. Look at volume breakouts, price breakouts, jump on it early, put a little bit into all of these coins, run it up, sell it, and then don't look back. The same thing that happened with the so-called dino coins in December, like XRP, Litecoin, and all of this other rubbish. And this is the same thing I'm looking for meme coins. It's going to be a batch, very specific batch of some coins that are going to run. But bag holding all of this other stuff here on the right, complete waste of time. Like I used to joke about stuff like Sandbox all throughout last year, even 2023, because I knew it's obviously complete garbage. It's had its time. Nobody's interested in the metaverse anymore. But the charts confirm it. They confirm that this entire move, everything was just, almost like a scam. These were scam moves. These were just three-wave scam moves. And even this move here, this was shocking. This was, almost manipulated, this move going from nothing all the way to somehow getting back to $1 and then obviously retracing the whole way back down. Scammy almost. But anyway, you zoom out and you already know like this has been done for a very, very long time. And most altcoin charts are like this. Why am I keep repeating the same thing? You're probably getting sick of it, but because I'm just telling you, get out of all of these altcoins that do nothing. And if they do get any type of pump, you shouldn't be buying, you should be selling. Most of this altcoin stuff is complete garbage, as is the vast majority of meme coins. And a reminder, I'm basing this on TA. Like when I talk about my potentially very, very long bear market for cryptocurrency, it's based on TA. It's based on the fact that I think, and by the way, let's just stay away from TA. Like we've talked about TA, we've talked about then my opinion on why it might be a longer bear market. But let's talk about social analysis, social sentiment, whatever you want to call it. Call it qualitative analysis. Just think about it now. We've been in, some of you have been Bitcoin like me since all the way back in 2017, so a very, very long time. Aren't you seeing that a lot of stuff this cycle, especially last 6 to 12 months, is getting really exhausted now? It's getting ridiculous now. Everybody's got a coin. Everybody's mass extraction. There's very, very little kind of money floating around left. Like you seem to pump everything. Every kind of trick in the book's being used. Everybody's now realizing that a coin really doesn't mean anything, and a lot of them never had any value. Also, parallel to this, I've discussed it before, we're very, very closely tied in with the Nasdaq. What's happening with the Nasdaq? every time OpenAI, you might not be into AI, but you should be. Every time OpenAI make a new release, somebody copies the damn model within a few days, and it's almost worthless. So what's going to happen with the tech stocks, the big tech stocks? They're all going to go down for a long time, many years. All-time highs are going to be in a lot of tech stocks, in my opinion. Crypto will obviously mirror that. I shared this on Twitter today, and this is just some random coins. So somebody have shared this on Twitter, and it's just some random coins. It could be meme coins, gaming, whatever. And I think these are obviously percentages from all-time highs and stuff like that. These are be constantly changing, but look at the number that are miles below their all-time highs, 80-90%. It's so rare you get something go down 80-90% and then ever recover. It's extremely rare. Like, it wouldn't even make sense from a TA perspective unless we're in some massive super cycle, which where's your super cycle coming from? Like I said, all of the energy has been sapped out of cryptocurrency, unfortunately. People are still trading this old rubbish like Matic and stuff like that. I'm sorry, people are investing. You can trade it, like trade it for short term, absolutely. But people are investing in this, thinking it's going to go back to all-time highs at some point. Who's feeding you this? Like, please tell me in the comment section below. Who's telling you some of this stuff's going back to all-time highs? I don't like, where's it coming from? It must, I only assume it must be influencers, or is it family? I don't know. This is Polkadot chart. Again, do I need to show you any more charts? Like, short-term trade these moves. Fine. There's some, a little bit of multiples in there. Not much, clearly, but a little bit. We've already faded a lot of these dino moves. We've already faded, broken, and we've made new lows. Crazy. We're making new lows. We're supposed to be at the end of a bull market, and altcoin season, as far as I remember the definition being, everything got a pump. Guys, do some TA. Look at the charts. This is madness. People still think if you buy really low and the price is down 95%, then you're getting in cheap. This is a myth. This is not true. You're actually much better off buying some altcoins that are hovering around all-time highs, because their probability, their percentage chance of doing something is way higher. They're going to run past all-time highs. And if they do, it's blue sky ahead. So, there's way more chance, like I've been telling you about SUI over the last 6 months, is way more likely that was going to do a run than any of this other stuff. Let's see how the market goes in the next few weeks, and I'll keep you guys posted. But like I said, I think it's going to be a slow few weeks while we kind of maybe chop sideways. But then, if we see any inkling of any sector breaking out that could do decent multiples, I'll of course share it on this channel, but keep an eye on it yourself. Keep long watch lists, because even stuff like XRP that broke out, you can't deny that, when it was breaking out and stuff, it was about 50 cents to 3 or so. Yeah, it's good multiples, 5x. Even if you caught some of this move, you might have hit a 3x and stuff. Because I definitely didn't catch all of it, but I made good multiple on this, because once it's breaking out, it's breaking out. Like, once you're getting green candles, you jump in on a pullback, you don't ask questions, because the price action is impulsive. Now, this kind of XRP move, I feel there's still a chance we could get it on some coins, but again, I repeat, some coins. That's it for your dose of reality, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for listening.